Okay, so thank you very much. I am Fleur Heyns. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Proof of Impact. I am stuck in South Africa, not really, but this moronic variant has put a bit of a damper. I would have loved to have been with you guys in person. But I thought I'd also just spend a couple seconds just explaining how we got to Proof of Impact, because I think you've had quite a lot of dry material thrown at you over the last few hours. So my journey is that I was an investment banker, like I believe a lot of you, particularly in Switzerland. In 2000, I moved to South Africa from Europe. I then built a retail trading platform, which is now the Robinhood of Africa. I was able to fully exit with all of the other co-founders and shareholders in 2007 at the peak of the market. And I guess in an attempt to find myself, I went back to my alma mater in Oxford, where I was introduced to this concept of ESG and impact investing. Now, ESG in 2008 was a dirty word, and impact investing was for the tree huggers and the vegans and the people that are probably now at our conference. But what I just wanted to point out is that we've come a long way. So from 2008, we have invested and seeded many initiatives, funds, public equity, private equity, and in businesses. And what's becoming really clear is that ESG and impact is no longer just a nice to have. It's actually becoming one of the ways that we're going to find future long-term value. So let's look back and say, okay, how do we always determine value? And in the old days, it was an asset, your horse, your land, your building. Then we're like, what does the asset produce? Does it have a yield? Does it have a cash flow? And then we're like, well, what's the product that really produces the yield and the cash flow? And then recently we've gone on to, okay, it doesn't even matter if there's a product, but if I can buy something and if I think it's liked enough by other people that they're going to pay more for it, then it's kind of like a speculative value. And all of that just to say that I think there's becoming a new trend, which is, okay, that will probably continue to exist like the cryptocurrencies have shown for the last 5 days. But there's definitely, with asset owners, the people who sit on the capital, and with us as consumers, there is a new value driver, and that is this thing called purpose. And purpose goes beyond saving the planet. It's also about, being equitable to everyone that's in it. And as I said, it is not a trade-off anymore. It's no longer concessionary. So the ability to attract and compile huge amounts of data from the Palantirs of this world to the snowflakes, et cetera, has proven to be extremely valuable, right, in conventional business. But there has been a gap where we've always focused on financial information or information that leads to financial results, and we have, by and large, excluded impact and ESG data, which is the next opportunity. But as a lot of my predecessors have said, most of the people who focus on ESG and impact data have been consultant-driven initiatives, and they have its own, scalability issues and reliability issues. So Proof of Impact was really the first solution to create an interoperable platform. Think of it as a data intelligence platform that extracts information from the actual assets, the building, the infrastructure product, the company, through direct data integration. So we are not relying on some manual consultants going in with a clipboard and ticking boxes. It comes into our system, we clean up the data, and then we're able to share this data for the purpose of action with the stakeholders. So with the consumers, so that they know that they're buying sustainable products, with employees, so they know that they work for a real company that cares, and obviously with investors who are increasingly looking to price this data and indicate future value. So we launched our product, which is the Data Intelligence Platform, a year ago, and we have over 68 clients. You can see they're pretty much globally distributed. Our business model is software as a service. So we charge a monthly subscription for the products that I will show to you in a second. And we're seeing an incredible acceleration in growth at the moment. And why is this growth happening? Why are our customers so desperate for our solution? Again, you've heard this the whole morning, I guess. The existing solutions don't work. They're too slow. They're not reliable. They don't give us the granularity, the frequency, and the breadth of data that we need in order to, A, identify real risks real time and be able to optimize for operational performances like we do with all our other financial metrics data. So we've launched with 2 products that are already in the market, and the third that will come shortly. Firstly, it's baseline, right? Everyone has to start somewhere, and our customers are predominantly mid-market companies in the private market space, because that's where there is really a lack of products and solutions. Because in the private market, we need the company to start with an assessment. What are your goals? What are the targets and metrics that would correspond to those goals? And then we can identify, and they can upload some of the data that then allows us to track, are they targeting those goals? Are they achieving them? Are they running behind? A natural upgrade, evolution of the baseline product is our Insights product, and that's really our flagship product, and that's where we are unique in the market. This is a software-driven data integration solution with the companies to extract information from their ERP, from their Salesforce, from their payment solutions, from their HR payroll solutions providers. And then we even find external data sources that are contextual. Think satellites, think meters, think IoT, think customer surveys, think employee surveys, to see whether the company's claims are indeed justified. Are they verified? And that is our Insights product, where the companies are then able to visualize this live. And then finally, the Impact Catalyst is the future, is the next generation, is the Web 3.0 of the reporting solution. So think here again, data highways, where the integrity of the data is obviously protected. So you'll be in a blockchain solution. And then these data points are not only used for the sake of purely reporting, but they can be embedded like we do currently in public markets for factor-based investing. We'll now be able to embed this data for private market security. So securitized loan notes, impact bonds that are real, dynamic, and priced based on the data from the impact and ESG analysis. So again, the benefits for our customers, rather than faffing around for years with consultants and paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in Swiss francs and not having a true foundation, this is like your basic infrastructure requirement. You have an ERP, you have a CRM, you have proof of impact. That's your operating system. And what you do with it is you improve the operational efficiency. So we have a fund called Osmosis. It's got about $5 billion AUM in public markets. And we've proven that the management team that excel at resource efficiency management, which are the environmental data, outperform operationally and actually have higher valuations in the market. The fund outperforms by 50 basis points. So this is your chance to improve your margins, get higher valuations. This is also your chance to set yourself apart from all of the ESG and impact washing by having true empirical data to back up your narrative. So this is not about putting an SDG flag on your website for the sake of it. This is about showing that the data from the ground up leads to your contribution to the SDGs. And finally, this is an ecosystem play, right? Whatever you do has an impact on your customers and their footprints. It has an impact on your investors. And being able to share that in a reliable, meaningful way is what the platform offers. We have 68 customers that I said that vary from deep impact investment funds that are members of the Global Impact Investment Network to commercial portfolio companies, a Partners Group in Switzerland, to some of the larger public equity companies, publicly listed companies like a Johnson & Johnson, who are starting to use our platform more for their intentional impact investing, but they might even use it for their more internal operational needs as well. There's a gazillion data companies right there, and we were very fortunate that Swiss Development Corporation commissioned a study about 8 months ago to review who are going to be the winners in this space. And Proof of Impact came out number one, otherwise I probably wouldn't be showing this, in terms of best in class, and there's two reasons. One is what everyone actually has been showing so far is that we've moved from a manual data collection process to an automatic data collection process. So we've gone from the left to the right, the left being mainly consultants. But what we do differently from all of the other predominant ESG analytics companies, think GIST, think Refinitiv, think Arabesque, is that because we get access to the raw data of the assets, we're able to provide greater veracity on the data. So we've moved to the top right-hand quadrant where we have investment-grade information, where the analytics that can be applied on it are actually meaningful. So our data will most likely not result in ESG ratings that are only corroborating for 0.4, meaning 60% of them disagree, but we should have a pretty high accuracy around the data that we provide and the analytics that will come out of it. We've grown enormously. As I mentioned, 68 clients. We've booked around $500,000 in revenue year to date. We're on a fast track to our Series A, which will happen next year. This is the other way of showing our exponential growth. Obviously, the team is not just me. We have skill sets on the financial engineering side but specifically also on blockchain and technology, which are represented by my co-founder, Kevin Petit, who also built ethos.io together with Derek Barrera at the time, his CTO. And then we have experts in the B2B SaaS, Shannon, who worked at Uber and Brex, and impact measurements and metrics, which is Namer, Claire, and Cecil. I've already explained what the future is. So the future is verified data. It is around meaningful analytics, and it's around digital assets that will be structured on top of this data. So, we've got a bunch of big believers, from the founders of impact investing, people like Charlie Kleisner and Laurie Spengler, to some of the largest institutions like Kevin Farrelly, who represent Franklin Templeton, but also some of the unicorn builders like Jeff Cady, who's a data science expert who built a firm and is now building QBio. So as I mentioned, we are really here to help you. So if you're a customer and you're like, I need to get started, can you come in and work with us? That's one point. We're also going to raise a post-seed in January after we've already raised $4.5 million to date. So if you're interested in following up with me on that, please drop me an email.